What a night in the Rose City. Gorgeous setting for big-time football under the lights. We're at Merlot Field on the campus of the University of Portland. The 9th-ranked and undefeated Pilots hosting St. Mary's. The WCC opener for both clubs. This is where the rubber meets the road. Good evening, everybody. Ann Schatz's joined by my broadcast partner, good friend, Angela Harrison, former Pilot great between the pipes. Ange, Pilots flying high, 6-0-3, but they know in recent years the Gales have had their number. That's got to change tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. WCC for me might as well stand for West Coast Chaos. It's one of the most fun conferences to watch because it is always ripe for upsets. There's always a team that's going to come through this conference and surprise somebody. No conference tournaments means that every team's going to go all out every weekend after that automatic NCAA tournament berth that comes with the conference title.
All right, let's take a look at the current coaches poll, Ange. Welcome to the top 10 Pilots.
I mean, this is phenomenal for the Portland program. It's what Carlin Boyd's been working toward, is just this. He's had a lot of really good seasons, but this slow build into the top 10, it's well-deserved. This is their best start since 2018. They're outscoring teams 25-8, and, you know, they have so many assets to this program. They've swept the WCC Honors of the Week awards 2 times this season, not to mention having 4 players earning WCC Player of the Week for the last 4 straight weeks.
That's impressive stuff, but hey, the Gales come into tonight's match at 5-3-1. Their 5-game unbeaten streak just snapped in a heartbreaker against Cal. You want me to keep my eye on Riley Lynch, goal scorer and table setter.
Yeah, this sophomore forward from Chandler, Arizona, he was on the 2021 WCC All-Freshman team, 2nd team All-WCC. He's got 2 goals and 4 assists on the season so far. He is a key in setting up teammates. He did notch back-to-back games with a goal and an assist earlier this season against UC Davis and San Jose State, but this player is going to be the one to pin down for Portland.
Gales head coach Adam Cooper, one of the best in the business, 4-time WCC Coach of the Year. Nobody has a higher winning percentage than this guy.
Absolutely. I mean, and he started as an assistant coach at St. Mary's, and when the head coach job became available in 2005, unanimous pick from the staff at the coaching staff. He's been at the helm ever since and has had this St. Mary's program as one of the toughest teams in the WCC for the last decade plus.
All right, to the Pilots. Another WCC Player of the Week award goes to a member of this club. Take a bow, CJ.
He had a game on Sunday night, and he deserves it. The senior forward from Yarna, Sweden, he's a transfer from Seton Hall, and he was phenomenal on Sunday night, earning, as I mentioned earlier, Portland's 4th straight WCC Player of the Week honors. That was the most goals in a game since Connor Casey scored 5 against Gonzaga back in 1999. That is some sublime company to be in when you're in company with Connor Casey.
Nick Carlin Boyd, pumped for conference play. His depth is a huge reason why.
And, you know, he's in his 7th season for the Pilots, and when he came in, he does have a WCC Coach of the Year honor himself. It was his first season, and this could be the year that he gets that honor again for the Pilots. He has been creating such a high-scoring attacking offense. He has 5 players with multiple goals, 6 players with multiple assists. The threats come from everywhere.
Oh, baby, let's get this weekend started. 9th-ranked Portland hosting St. Mary's, the WCC opener for both clubs. Oh, the drama at Merlot. Lineups and kickoff coming up next. sun just setting here in the City of Roses. We are on the campus of the University of Portland, specifically at legendary Merlo Field, home of the Portland Pilots, ranked 9th in the country, undefeated, hosting St. Mary's conference opener, both clubs. Let's take a look at the Gales starting lineup. There's a really fine keeper in Oladapo. He will start between the pipes. He's an Oregon native, so he's got friends and family here. A really deep defensive backfield, but look for Yaya and Lynch to get things going up top for St. Mary's. For the Portland Pilots, they come in at 6-0-3, ranked number 9th in the country. Tasuris will mind the nets, Angela Harrison, and then you mentioned the depth and the scoring ability. You gotta love the fact that CJ Tibling's getting a start. Well, why not after that 4-goal effort?
I mean, I don't know how you can't not start him, but you have Cambridge in there who's chipped in 5 goals, Tibling with 5 goals. I mean, again, as I mentioned in the open, so many goals. The goals are gonna come from everywhere. Sebastian Nava pulling the strings, 3 goals, 6 assists. It's gonna be all over the field for Portland. They just gotta get it down there and keep the attack flowing.
Cambridge and Tibling tied for first in goals scored in WCC play. We are underway. The visiting Gales in their road kits, red stem to stern. Pilots in their home whites. Last time out, Cal defeating St. Mary's. Hard-fought game, a 1-0 Cal win over St. Mary's to snap that 5-match unbeaten streak. The Pilots, meanwhile, defeating Utah Tech 6-0. Tibling with those 4 goals, and that keeps Portland's record undefeated, and they raise and rise in the rankings to number 9. But this is conference play, and this is a different beast. And when you look at St. Mary's, they have had Portland's number 5 straight victories over the Pilots. The Gales have that going for them.
And that's, you know what I said, this is a chaos conference. I mean, any team can beat anybody on any given weekend. I've seen WCC games where a team has been unbeaten all season and beats the top-ranked team in the league, on a rainy night in Moraga, for example, with your St. Mary's. This happens all the time in this conference, so this is a game for the Gales that they'll want to get back into their winning ways. As you mentioned earlier, they had their 5-game winning streak snapped to Bay Area foe Cal last weekend, but they were on a 5-game unbeaten streak before that, and they're very competent and confident that they can get back on that track and reel off another 5 straight in WCC play.
Well, last year, St. Mary's defeating Portland 1-0. The Pilots were outshot 11-4. Pilots 0 shots on goal, and there were 34 fouls in that match. 19 going against St. Mary's, 15 going against University of Portland. Both coaches expecting a physical match, clean but physical tonight.
And that's what you've seen a lot from these matchups. I've watched these two teams play a lot over the years, and it's always can end up turning into a slugfest.
So we're just underway here at Merlo Field. Gorgeous night. Temperature still lingering in the high 60s. Wind's really not a factor and shouldn't be. Smartly played by Cambridge. Ooh, well, there it is, Ange. Bodies flying all over the place in the opening minutes.
And Bonilla gets upended there, and I'm looking at that play, and I'm not seeing a lot of intent in there, just a lot of intent to get the ball and go hard, and that's often what happens between these two teams, is that there's not a lot of bad blood between them, but there is a lot of physicality in what they're trying to do and establish dominance on the pitch tonight.
Pilot head coach Nick Carlin-Voigt talks about how you reset the button now that conference play has started. The depth sets the tone. It breeds competition in practice. Non-starters are scoring goals. I mean, look at CJ had 4. He's starting tonight. Those starting roles are up for grabs.
I mean, it was last week. You know, there was an interesting play that, Nick Carlin-Voigt looked at for Friday night. Jacob Babalai was on 4 yellow cards on Friday night's game, and they had a game Sunday against Utah Tech that, Carlin-Voigt felt that they could afford to miss him at, so he had Jacob Babalai earn a yellow card for time wasting, and he gets his 5th yellow card. He's suspended for Sunday's game, and it clears the decks for the rest of WCC play for Babalai.
What do you think of that?
I mean, it's a great coaching tactic, and it makes sure that, if Babalai's on the field and he picks up a yellow card for something that's just very inconsequential, consequential that they're not going to lose him for the next game, which, as again, every game in the WCC is important. You can't afford to lose any kind of depth, starter, or bench player for WCC play.
Adam Cooper, head coach of St. Mary's, says the first 5-10 minutes of a match like this with the great atmosphere at Merlot, really critical for his club to get their bearings, the Gales, and to make sure that they're quiet and settled.
And, you know, you've seen that with some of the fouls that they have taken or excuse me, given in the first opening minutes of just, again, setting that precedence of, you know, we're not going to come to this home field of Portland, who's ranked number 9, and be afraid of you. You know, we're going to come in and get physical and let you know that we're not afraid to come in here and play on your pitch.
What a great job by Sanga. I mean, he went about half the field, maybe a little bit longer. Tons of real estate, and his effort rewards the Pilots with the corner.
His pace off the dribble is just so hard to contain because you just don't know when he's going to take that long touch and run by you. He keeps it close, and he's so good at that, and then hits that ball by you, and he's gone.
So here's the corner. Nava will tee it up. Early opportunity for the Pilots. Up for grabs, teed up. I love the fact that Denley didn't waste a second.
He knew that exactly that ball was coming out to him. He's very good with his left foot, and maybe not the ball that Nava quite wanted to play to where it was to, but Denley in his spot doing his job. Definitely needs to get over it, keep it down, keep it on frame, but a good opening chance for Portland.
That loose ball was picked up quickly by Denley. Got under it, as you saw, but love the idea. Oladapo. It's been a goal platoon situation for St. Mary's, but Oladapo getting the nod. He's been pretty impressive out of Happy Valley, so welcome to the friends and family of Cash Oladapo.
It's always great when you are a player and you play in a conference where you're regularly going to be going up and playing in front of friends and family. That was what was always great for me about playing in the WCC is staying close to home and being able to have friends and family come and watch me play.
Like the idea by Cambridge. That ball picked off inside the 18. The Pilots, though, still lurking in their offensive third. Angela Harrison, one of the Pilot greats, minding the nets. There have been some great keepers in U of P women's soccer history. My broadcast partner, one of them. It's just it's a thrill when I stop and think about it. I used to watch you play, dang it.
Oh man, it's still one of my favorite memories is being on this field.
Oh, you know, and we're talking about Ange, you know, top 10 in so many different categories. And in the late 90s, man, you bossed that 6-yard box, didn't you?
I tried to.
Come on now. You did.
I was short for a goalkeeper, but I tried.
Hey, we've seen some 5'5", 5'6", 5'7". That's not you. You know, they've got hops, and they just have the timing. You had it all. Deep ball, Cambridge. Let's see if he can get behind the defense. He collects. Let's see if there's a runner now. Tracy, switching the point of attack, Denley. He's got a little bit of room. Blocked. Well played. Counter, St. Mary's. Yeah. Lost the touch there, a little frustrated. Transfer out of Fullerton. He's been really consistent for this Gales club. St. Mary's picked 5th in the WCC. The Pilots picked 1st. And it's the first time since 2003 that the Pilots have been picked to win the WCC. And the way they've been playing, you see why.
And, you know, it all comes down to recruiting. Again, Carlin Voigt, not afraid to pick up transfers, not afraid to pick up a grad transfer for a year. Anybody that he thinks is going to help further the cause, further the program. And, you know, you see that touch from CJ Tibbling right there.
Man.
He's been a monster. He played for 4 years at Seton Hall and then came here for a graduate transfer year and has actually ended up being here for a couple of years due to the COVID eligibility that they gained, and has just been massive for Carlin Voigt to continue to build the legacy of this Portland program when it comes to the attacking side of things.
Coming off that 4-goal game, CJ Tibbling, as Ange mentioned, transfer out of Seton Hall, 3-time All Big East. I asked Nick, hey, have you seen him do that flip before? He said, nah. That flip was awesome. And he said, nah, I haven't seen him do it here. I saw him do it at Seton Hall, but now I've seen him do it here. So we've seen a brace, a hat trick, and I said, well, what do you call 4 goals? He said, we were talking about that, me and the staff. And he wants to call it a full.
A full.
Get it?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, yeah.
Come on, work with me here, Ange. Work with me here.
I'm making the connections.
I got you, baby.
Trying to get those neurons firing.
What a performance by Tibbling, though. Gee whiz. He had the 4 goals last year for Seton Hall again. 3-time All-Big East. Well, he had 4 goals in 1 game just the other night. And so now he shares top goal scoring honors at this moment in the WCC with his teammate, Cambridge.
And I think they both sit around 20th, 21st in the country in scoring right now. I mean, it's just been great to see just how many Portland players are getting into this attack and being a part of it.
12 different goal scorers for the Portland Pilots. 12 different goal scorers. You've got Cambridge and Tibbling with 5. And then Babalag, Nava, 3 apiece. I mean, you can't just key on 1 or 2 guys.
No, and you know, even when it comes to assists, you know, Gerben Sanga has done so well. We just talked about him a few minutes ago, getting down the sideline. He gets in there as we watch this replay. Bonilla comes in and just gets chopped down there by Luke Lawrence.
Luke Lawrence not only making his first start, playing in his first minutes for the St. Mary's Gales. So obviously Cooper liked something he saw in practice from the young freshman. All right, so Ange, we've seen a few minutes come and go in this match. The Pilots trying to get behind that St. Mary's defense. Are you liking what you see so far, or what needs to change, if you will, Coach Harrison, to get going?
They're testing the waters, and right now, if you look, St. Mary's is playing almost 5 in the back. They've got 3 center backs, and then their outside backs will rotate up and down to give them a little bit more coverage in a little in defense, and then give them the opportunity to go forward with those 2 outside backs, still keeping the 3 in the back. And so what that is doing is forcing Portland to play in the wing. So we haven't seen Nava with the ball much. We haven't seen Fernandez with the ball much. And those 2 really are the key to driving the ball in and out of Sanga, Tibbling, and Cambridge's feet as it goes through there. They're the key to the switch. And so those are the ones that Portland needs to find to get the ball across the field and find their opportunities.
And on the other side of the ledger, St. Mary's, I know, a good club with pace, would love to stretch the field and get those wingers forward. Is that correct? Building from the back?
Yeah, and that's why you play a formation like this. We're seeing it, you know, with Timothy Stevens here on the near side, number 24. He's that flex back, so to speak. You see him there now. He's going to come up on Nava, try to play Sanga here. You know, that's really what's going to give them that opportunity and those extra players in attack that Portland's going to have some difficulty defending.
Sanga, you love the idea, able to turn the corner.
And it's Stevens there with the foul as he comes in on Sanga.
Another opportunity.
And when you are up and down the field, Stevens and his counterpart on the other side of the field have to be so fit. You see him go in there, no contact with the ball, and disrupt Sanga's ability to get that ball across. So that's the foul there. But you have to be so fit in that position to get up and down the field on the regular basis, and not get beat in those opportunities. But Sanga, such a difficult defending assignment, just for that reason.
Great opportunity for the Pilots here in the 13th minute. Far post effort. Ooh. Again, still up for grabs. St. Mary's able to clear it. There's Bonilla. The Gales defense will get organized, but Bonilla will carry. Tugged on from behind. Love the give and go there. Clever. Well driven, flick header. Tibbling, I thought for a second, might have a chance near that spot kick area.
He was there for it, and it was Sanga that was redirecting it. Just gets in there, gets a slight flick on it. And this is Fernandez. He always does so good on the end line to get this ball across. What a nice little cutback there to his left foot. And that's Sanga who just got that little flick on it to Tibbling. And Tibbling, maybe not expecting it, couldn't quite get it down where he wanted it to.
So clever by Fernandez. And again, the Pilots using that far flank. Cambridge blocked. What a great atmosphere here tonight at Merlot. Gorgeous night. Students piling in, conference opener for these rivals.
We love for you to watch and listen to us, but man, nothing like being here in person,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
Come on out. The strength of Tibbling there to shred that ball and get the pilot attack going. Fernandez, oh, I like the idea. Cambridge was right there.
He was on for it.
Yes. Portland wanting to press a little bit, see if St. Mary's will cough it up. Tibbling calls off the Dogs. 15th minute, still scoreless. Deep ball into space. Nava hustling, hustling, hustling. Portland throw Denley with the quick one. This Pilot back line, Ange, has just been so solid. We talk about the 25 goals. You mentioned only 8 goals against.
That's remarkable. I mean, they to go through this at this point of the season, they're 9 games. They've only given up 8. They have been so good. They've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 shutouts so far this season, and that's so tough to do in men's soccer because there's always just a goal in the game. Even when you're up big, there's always a goal out there, a goal in the game. We've seen a lot of 5-1 results, 4-1 results. So Portland keeping those shutouts and able to keep their goals against average. Just a very locked in and dialed in defensive line.
6 shutouts last year, and you mentioned already looming close to that figure. And it's just been such a great defensive effort. You know, it starts in goal, obviously, with Tesouris, but who he has playing in front of him, how they work together has been very impressive.
Well, Arteaga, again, we've talked about this before, him dropping back from that 6th position into the center back next to Delence-Pierre gives them such a remarkable sense of calm and composure back there. They don't get panicked. They're able to talk to Denley, talk to Bonilla, make sure right now you're seeing they're holding Bonilla. Denley's getting up on the weak side. So they're really able to make sure they manage things back there and keep things calm when they need to be.
Unlucky there as Tibbling and Cambridge continue to work well together. Little give and go, but that shot ricochets off the teammate and will go the other way. th minute. Scoreless here at Merlot Field. Clive's Army, all those students bare-chested, on the fella side, that is, and we're loving that. Gorgeous evening here, temps in the high 60s. Very little wind. WCC rivals. Just love how Nava is so calm and cool on that ball, so clever. Starts the counter. Denley directing traffic behind Sanga, and Denley will give it right back to Nava.
And it's these moments where Portland has to look to switch the ball quickly. They've created an overload on one side, pulled all of the St. Mary's players over to this near sideline. So now as they're looking to find their opportunities, there's going to be some open spots over on the far side of the field.
You saw the overload really develop, and yet Portland kept it on this narrow side of the field, if you will. Little miscommunication on that last service. Neither keeper tested yet, Ange. Portland has had a lot of opportunities in their attacking third, but nothing really at Oladapo.
Not really. I mean, right now they have 3 shots, but I think you or I in the last 20 minutes would be hard-pressed to I remember which ones they were. The Denley one certainly that went well over, but, you know, that's, again, creating these meaningful opportunities when you're in and around the penalty area. can you make the most of being that close to the goal? And yeah, you absolutely have to test the goalkeeper.
Just a matter of time, you would think, before the Pilots are able to do that. Denley is able to flag down the errant pass. There's the switch that you were calling for, Ange. Cambridge on the far sideline, now Tracy. A little heavy on the touch there. Well played. Fernandez, clever. Cambridge wants to turn. Nice step. Ball still belongs to the Pilots. Shot, or excuse me, service deflected. Ball pinged via the noggin. Senga attracts the double. He's going to turn and leave it. Smartly played. Arteaga is going to send it right back to Cerise. Brilliant dummy run there. Pilots want to go. Denley. Foul's going to go against Yaya.
And we'll get our first clock stoppage here. Just to settle things down, calm things down a bit. Things are getting a bit harder. They don't need to be. The game has been pretty clean, really good challenges now. So I like that stoppage from our official there.
Fernandez, far sideline. Cambridge, so clever with the ball. Gonna try and get that edge. Great ball. Plenty of red jerseys, though, to sweep that out of harm's way. Nifty step, St. Mary's. The block is there, the Pilots collecting, they want to go. Fernandez. Tibbling not able to collect that service.
But that's the idea from Fernandez. He gets him going outside, gets the flow pushing outside, and then quickly pulls it back. He's got to get that ball into CJ Tibbling's feet, though. Tibbling does well in bits and pieces, but when he's posting up like that, you've got to get the ball into his feet so that he can play quickly.
So here's St. Mary's. They'll build from the back. Curry has a little room. And now it's Stevens. Opportunity, Gales. Good job by Yaya recognizing what he had, and he'll take the corner.
Denley closes down, makes sure that it's just not going to be easy. He knows Denley at that point knows he's probably not going to win that and do anything meaningful out of it, so he's just going to try and defend as best he can and get that ball out of bounds.
There's a good look at first-time starter Luke Lawrence, number 18. First start, first minutes of the season for the youngster. Well done, Luke. Corner, Gales. 22nd minute. Far post opportunity. Ooh, ball bouncing in and out and back into the hands of George.
Throws it right to the feet of Jacob Babalai, waiting to come in, but I like this really good. This is really great from George. He comes in, he's full stretched, and he's up against, I think that's Engman that was coming in on his backside. Last week I'd seen him goes up with both hands. He was in a bit of space and ended up creating another opportunity, but he's able to hold on to that, safe hands, and then just gets it out there. St. Mary's does have to be careful on those challenges for Tassaris. When I was watching him throw that ball, they had a couple players try to get their hands up with the referee's back turned. That's a dangerous game to play.
Errant pass, and here comes St. Mary's again, nearing the 18. The Gales looking for something to test Tassaris. Oh! Tassaris Arteaga, preseason All-WCC. Starobo, preseason All-WCC for St. Mary's, along with Riley Lynch. So Tibbling off. Babalai in.
And it's a good rotation. I mean, you're splitting them time. You know, CJ Tibbling gets half and Jacob Abelai gets half, and you just see who's going to do what against this team. And when, again, you're looking at this, it's 3 center backs that St. Mary's is playing with, so Jacob Abelai really has to drift between the channels between the main center back and the 2 outside center backs because it's Sanga and Cambridge that are trying to draw the attention of the wingers.
Abelai usually starting for University of Portland. He's got the 3 goals to his credit. And let's see if he can be that spark off the bench as Tibbling got the nod tonight. The Gales starting to get things a little more collected offensively. Bonilla did a nice job of kind of deking.
Yeah, you saw him there. He just kind of held off a little bit, and he really let Cowan get ahead of steam on him. Watch him as he comes in here, and then right there, yeah, Bonilla just kind of gets him, and Cowan just gets himself in trouble a little bit, but it's going to be a corner for the Gales, and really nice job from using his body there, not even really trying to do anything other than disrupt Cowan's run.
Good look at the sophomore there. Bonilla, mainstay of that defense, but another dangerous situation here if you're a Pilot fan. Low line drive.
Fernandez, we thought that was going out of the stadium.
Ange will do it again. Scoreless. 25th minute. Ball blocked and in the nick of time if you're a Portland Pilot.
That was Pierre coming up with that stop against Engman.
Gales on the counter. Yeah, will send it right back. And then try and make a run into open space.
It was a pretty good ball from Curry down there, just a bit too much. Delence Pierre had stepped up, Nick Denley had dropped off, so it was always going to be a bit of a sandwich for Yaya to get that ball cleanly and make any kind of run. But again, nice ball from Curry there.
Like the idea between those two with Yaya making a nice run. Conference opener, Gales in town. They have defeated the Portland Pilots 5 straight times. Carlin Voigt said, yeah, we've talked about that. Good job switching the point of attack, St. Mary's. Here's Engman. It looks to me, Ange, break it down for me, but it looks like St. Mary's defense playing a little bit more organized and anticipating a little bit better in regards to the Pilot attack.
And what they're doing so well is switching. Right now you have Tolhoy and Kurz playing in a dual 6 role right in front of the center backs, and they've been switching so seamlessly between Fernandez and Nava. You know, they start on the left, drift to the right, start on the right, drift to the left, and so they've been doing a really good job of limiting Portland's ability to find Fernandez and Nava and allowing them to key the attack for Portland.
Tolhoy, a very impressive freshman for this St. Mary's club. Asked to be flexible and versatile, doing just that for Adam Cooper. There's the step. Here comes St. Mary's. Yeah. Wants to turn the corner on Denley. Oh, what a job Denley does with his body. But it's still the Gales in their attacking third. Denley asked to defend again.
Stevens will get a foul called on him. Not a goal kick there, but Stevens will get a foul called on him, and Denley just missed him getting his body in there. But right here, he tries to go again. Denley gets his body in again, and Stevens just can't help but just foul him. Denley's so good, so scrappy on using his hips and using his very low center of gravity to make sure that he is bodying and using his body to keep Stevens off the ball.
Low center of gravity, has the angles. He stands at about 5'7". All right, that's code for 5'6". And that lad uses his body as well as anybody on the pitch. So still scoreless. 28th minute. A chess game, and St. Mary's starting to pick up the pace offensively a bit, and as Ange mentioned, locking down defensively.
Yeah, they're getting more confidence as this game goes on. they've locked in that defense, and now they're really starting to key into their transition. When they win it from Portland, expanding, finding those opportunities where they can go at Denley, go at Bonilla, and try to expose any kind of areas between that central three of Tracy, Pierre, and Arteaga.
All right, another goal kick for St. Mary's. Nope. It'll be a Pilot throw, my bad. Dangerous ball here, up for grabs. Senga wants to go and is on the run. Look at Senga, clever, Senga again. Senga carries, oh, unlucky. Ooh, boy. Babalai was right there in space on the run, and that ball picked off. Good step by St. Mary's.
I tell you, Kerman Sanga, I mean, that is just, what a remarkable run.
Oh, what a save. Laying out as Tesouris. That ball was tagged. Oh, this match is picking up, Ange.
Yeah, gets a good strike on it. It's a little knuckler. Hard to say if that one was going to be on frame or not, but Tesouris does a nice job of making sure that if he's not going to hold it, hard to do as the ball gets slippery on a night like tonight, but he leaves it in a safe space. He doesn't knock it back down in the front of the goal for anybody to follow up on. A wide angle that makes it easier for Denley. It makes it easier for Pierre to go clean up if Tesouris can't go get it himself.
Yeah, has been so active. He's been all over the pitch for St. Mary's. Lynch, he's been quiet at this point. Arteaga looking to find Nava and does. Well played, Tracy. Here we go. Is the switch here? Point of attack now for Cambridge on that right side. He wanted the ball. He's got it. Bonilla again.
Ooh. Nick Fernandez just missing his connections there, but has been so good.
Oh, off the hardware, Fernandez. There it is. There it is.
Arteaga from Fernandez, and as I said, Fernandez had been missing his moments, but as I was interrupted by the goal, I was going to say he's been so good at picking up the opportunities.
There's Fernandez.
Just like that.
And the ball is loose. Denley cracks it, and you're going to see a goal
Here's
coming
Fernandez
up.
right there, plays it right into Babalai.
Babalai is
just roofs it.
You know, you just love the fact that that ball touched a lot of different feet of the Portland Pilots player, and Babalai coming off the bench tonight just mops up.
And the best part about that, again, Fernandez, you see him key that play, win the ball, and then Denley keeps the play alive. It pops back out to him, and as we said earlier, making the most of things, taking advantage of your opportunities. Denley hits it literally on the frame of the goal, keeps it alive, and Fernandez and Babalai pick up the pieces.
Fourth goal of the year for Babalai, and that just landed right at his feet, and he knew what to do with it. But man, you're right, that all started with Denley. How critical, I'm speaking the obvious, but to strike first for the Pilots, how critical in this tight match, Ange?
Well, I think it's usually critical. Mainly, yes, it's a tight match, but B, the Portland scored against the run of play. St. Mary's have had the better run of play for the last 10 or so minutes of this game, and Portland was able to transition and push the Tide back and really, again, make the most of the opportunity they were given at the time. That puts St. Mary's in a position to now have to chase a goal for the next 15 minutes because, if anything, they do not want to go into halftime down a goal.
So Babalai with his fourth goal of the season. Denley so active that led to the scoring. Bonilla getting everything started by getting forward. And then things got very chaotic, and Babalai was able to score.
Portland has scored a lot of extremely beautiful, well-executed goals this season. They don't all have to be like that. That one was a bit of a scrum in and out. As I said, Denley keeps it alive. You saw Oladapo make a great effort at Denley's shot that rang off the crossbar. And then it's just chaos in the box, and Fernandez is able to slot and pick out Babalai, who again just roofs it into the top of the net.
Cowan's slow to get up. And you see what a competitor Babalai is, not getting the starting nod tonight, but comes off the bench, immediate impact and scores. Yep.
Rough challenge. Not anything in it from Tracy, just a blind turn from Cowan into Tracy there. But back to your point about Babalai, I don't think for him and Tibbling, it's a friendly competition. It's not, when you're going to be on a team that's like this, you have to embrace that. And when Babalai took the yellow card last Friday night, Tibbling was going to get the opportunity to start, and he made the most of it. And I said during that broadcast, he did what any player needs to do, which is make Nick Carlin-Voigt's job extremely difficult to pick a starter. And when it's your time to come off the bench, you have to come off the bench strong, and do what your team needs you to do. And Babalai his team needed him to score a goal, so he did.
I mean, you're echoing what Nick was saying. I mean, you want these guys to go like the Dickens in practice, where it makes it really hard for him to determine who's going to start. I mean, what a great scenario for a coach.
I mean, when you score 4 goals and earn WCC Player of the Week, how do you not start? I mean, that's kind of the thing at the coach. And so Babalai has to say, yeah, no, I needed to clear the decks for the yellow cards. I needed to go into WCC with a clean slate, and I'm going to get my chance to play again. What am I going to do with that opportunity? Good
free kick. Ooh. Ooh, baby.
That was a lovely opportunity
Riley.
for Riley Lynch.
Oh, Riley.
Just whistles it off the top of the crossbar. This is a terrific angle from our broadcast team, and you could see Lynch there walking away. Did not miss by much.
Right.
Portland has to be careful. They have a marksman in Riley Lynch on their team from free kicks. Portland has to be careful of giving up any kind of silly fouls around the edge of the penalty area.
Vesberg, Muddit checking in for St. Mary's. Nick will tell you about the set-piece prowess of St. Mary's. They butter their bread with a lot of these set-piece opportunities, and you just saw that right there. It doesn't matter what the distance is. They're going to tag it.
Well, and you see that's something that Portland has worked on a lot, is their set pieces, because you're going to get those opportunities in every game, regardless of what team it is. Every team is going to have a free kick or a corner kick throughout the game. There's going to be multiple of them, and you can't just go in there without a plan. You can't just go lump it in and see what happens. You have to practice them, you have to rehearse them, and you have to have players that in those positions, like Riley Lynch, can put something pinpoint on a dime.
Babalai very slow to get up. That'll bring the trainer out. Lynch is one of those guys for St. Mary's. He's just a sophomore last year, second team all-conference, all-freshman. He's just got that veteran feel to him as we watch Babalai come off the pitch gingerly.
Well, and even just watching him in the warm-up, the confidence that he had, he was so loose, he was so ready to go. And you see when he's around his teammates, just with the effect that he has on the confidence that they all start to gain from each other. He just has an innate ability about him to just calm his team down at the same time get him going.
I mean, this is a young St. Mary's club, and Lynch is, we mentioned, just a sophomore. Not a lot of senior field players on this team. A lot of youngsters that give you reason to hope if you're a Gales fan, as they just keep getting better by the game. Like the idea by Pierre, didn't wait for anything.
And it was offside there. That's our AR1, CJ Cole, longtime referee in the Portland area. If I know him on site, that means I have interacted with him a time or two.
Don't go there, Ange.
He's a great guy. He actually is our youth referee assigner for one of our leagues that I work with. So he's a wonderful referee.
37th minute, 1-0. Pilots leading. Babalai's goal. The difference maker here, Jacob coming off the bench, immediately making his presence felt. It'll be fun to go back to that goal, Ange. Instead of just showing the actual goal, give it about 30 seconds to breathe, and you see all kinds of guys touching the ball, making sure the ball stays in the attacking third, then doing something with it.
Just keeping the opportunity alive.
Yes.
You know, just making it, if you're not going to get something going, can you get something going for somebody else?
That's a great point.
And I mean, back when I played, and I had the very great fortune of being coached by Clive Charles, but one thing as a goalkeeper, I listened to him coach the forwards often and tried to not look silly against those forwards, but he'd always tell them, you know, when the ball comes into your feet as a forward, can you shoot it the first time? And if you can't, can you take a touch? Can you find an opportunity again for yourself to shoot it? And beyond that, can you set up somebody else to shoot it? That's your next best option. And, you know, for a forward, though, and we've had a lot of good ones here at Portland, you have to make that decision in about half a second.
I was going to say, so the timing is of the essence, right?
Yeah.
All of those options happening in literally a breath.
Yeah, and all of the great Pilot players that, you know, their pictures are up all around the stadium have had that. You know, you look at Megan Rapinoe, Christine Sinclair, Shannon McMillan, Tiffany Milbrit. On the women's side, on the men's side, it's, you know, Connor Casey.
You bet.
You've got Joey Leonetti. You've got so many players that have been those type of players that are so quick thinking in those regards that know I can score, or I can take a touch and score, or I can set somebody else up to score right now, and again, make those decisions in about half a second.
There it is. I mean, I learned, one of the reasons why I get here early is because I want to get my stuff set up and then just learn from Angela Harrison. That's what I want to do, and I'm learning as we're working. This is great. Pilots would love another one, Ange, before we go to the break.
Bonilla a bit frustrated there, gets held back. And you see here, as he's looking for this, he's going and he just gets chopped down there from Muddit. And you're just, you know, he's frustrated. He's looking for William Hoffman. It's at what point do you say, okay, we're going to give you a yellow card. You've got to, you have to stop doing things like this.
Hoffman, tonight's referee. 6 yellow cards in last year's match, part of a foul fest won by St. Mary's. Pilots with the 4 yellows, and St. Mary's carded and booked with a couple.
Portland really wanting some kind of foul on Tolhoy there for dangerous play.
Fans are hollering for it, that's for sure. And instead, it's Pierre that's getting talked to.
And here's what they're looking at. Here's Pierre clearing the ball. He's going to come into it right there. And then there's Tolhoy. Oh, that's not the right one, but that's okay. That was Valentine Kurz coming through on that header. There was about 5 seconds before that where they wanted a potentially dangerous challenge, dangerous play.
Should mention Babalai back on the pitch after going down. And again, whistles aplenty as Engman gets nicked for that foul. 40th minute. Pilots leading 1-0. Babalai's goal in the 31st minute is all the scoring we've had at this point. Fernandez. Like that ball. Senga nearing the 18. Senga, dangerous here. St. Mary's with the step, well played. Portland will not go away.
And it's Fernandez again, stopping the counter out of the back from St. Mary's and keeping the play alive for Portland.
Tracy, nobody there. Smartly played. And it'll be Tracy again. as St. Mary's has gotten their offense together, clicking a little bit more, combining a little bit better, we're still seeing the Pilot defense stand tall.
And again, it's that composure from Pierre and Arteaga that have really ensured that, you know, you see Nick Denley now coming in. They've called him in from this, see him walking back to get in line with Pierre. You know, it's, again, just that very relaxed, we're going to win the ball, we're going to see it out, and it's just, you really get that sense from them that it really is no problem for them.
Umar checking in, the freshman who had a goal in that Utah Tech route. Getting more and more playing time. This is an interesting and dangerous blend of veterans and youngsters for the Portland Pilots, Ange.
And it's important for Carlin Voigt to build his depth with the leadership that he has on the field, with the experienced leadership that he has on the field. He can put a young player like Muslim Umar onto the field around players that have been here for long enough that he feels supported. He can learn by watching. When a run is off, they're going to tell him and make sure that, you know, hey, next time, you know, fade back about 5 yards, then cut in, things like that. That's really going to help him get, you know, on the job experience, so to speak.
On the job experience. Like the hustle there of Arteaga, but the foul's going to go against the Pilots. You know, and there's nothing like game time experience, right, Ange? I mean, practicing, yeah, and you know they go like heck in practice, but there's nothing like the reps in a game.
Absolutely, and you know, I go back. I don't think I've talked about my time as a player this much on any broadcast this season.
Come on now.
But, you know, you run your socks off all summer long, and you work on your fitness, and you work on your fitness, and after you play your first game, you are like, did I do any fitness at all this summer? I am exhausted. So, you know, when you're in a game, in a pressure environment, making decisions, you know, that fitness is getting to you. It's a very important environment to make those decisions and gain that experience.
You bet. Listen, I'm picking your brain, so just keep it coming. Gael Quintero checking in for St. Mary's along with Greg Brighton. This is a St. Mary's club, Ange, that is undeterred by a one-goal disadvantage. They just kind of, they stay the course and keep coming at you, and they've got another opportunity right here.
They will keep coming at you. This is a very confident team, and Adam Cooper is, again, such a good coach, so highly regarded by so many people around this country, and knows exactly, you know, the halftime adjustments for this program are going to be really interesting to watch if they do indeed go into halftime a goal down. He's so good at what he does and getting his team in the right position to win games.
Cooper and his Gales have finished in the top half of the WCC in 11 straight years. He always does Cooper have them ready. Highest winning percentage in the WCC, as the Gales will start another dead ball situation.
And Fernandez coming through on the foul on Engman, and you're starting to see the fluidity in formation for St. Mary's as they've been in the back. Engman now pushing up into more of a holding mid-roll when you saw Quintero come in, and you know, a few other players have moved around a little bit looking to key this St. Mary's offense.
Boy, I can't help but watch number 2, Engman. I mean, he's been very active, and to your point, he's getting more and more involved. Big target at 6'4". St. Mary's looking for the equalizer late in this first half. Bonilla is playing the defense. Oh boy. Good step.
Arteaga,
yep,
so solid. And again, you watched him do that, and he just knew exactly what was going to happen, put himself in the position, and just stepped up and did it. Bonilla committed himself to the slide tackle, and it was so good on the far side of the field, and I apologize, I cannot read the number that far away, but St. Mary's did such a nice job of evading that tackle from Bonilla. And again, Arteaga knew exactly what was going to happen. He saw it happening before it happened and was able to time his tackle and step up and clear it.
Less than a minute to go in the half. Umar in a foot race. Oladapo off his line. Seconds ticking off. And that will do it for the first half. You can hear the PA announcer at 5 seconds and counting down. Heck of a half for that guy, Nick Denley. My goodness, both ends of the field. And the Portland Pilots, unbeaten, ranked number 9 in the country, lead St. Mary's by the score of 1-0 at half. St. Mary's, they've beaten Portland 5 straight times, and the Pilots would love to erase that bad taste in their mouth and keep that unbeaten streak going. So far, so good. Babalai with the goal. Pilots with the D, and they lead it 1-0. Halftime commences.
I love the fact that higher education can be transformative. It can change someone's trajectory of their life. So it's my hope that the University of Portland, we are the transformative Catholic university in the West Coast. I was born and raised in the great state of New Jersey. I am the youngest person in my family. I have some amazing parents who have sacrificed a lot to provide an education for me and my brother. You know, we grew up knowing you're going to get your education, you're going to go to church, and anything is possible as you go forward in your life. My name is Rob Kelly, and I am the president of the University of Portland.
We were simply thrilled when Dr. Kelly accepted the opportunity to come to the University of Portland. We spent hours, weeks, months discerning this important decision, and he was exactly what this university needs moving forward.
Nice to see you.
I think you've already seen that on campus already. Dr. Kelly's everywhere. He's ubiquitous. He's energetic. I think he's a tremendous role model. His experience in higher education at this university and other universities will serve him so very well. There's no one more prepared to lead this university into its next great chapter here on the Bluff.
This is my first day with lots of students on campus in a physical format. The students are back, and this is the beginning of it. It's like Christmas morning.
Clearly a person that was able to build connections and relationships with people. His prior experiences, it was very intentional that Rob was preparing himself to one day hopefully have the opportunity to lead a Catholic university, and grateful that he chose us as much as we chose him.
I've been been so blessed to know him for over 24 years, and one of the very first conversations we had, we found out we both loved higher ed, and he talked about, I want to be a college president one day. And it really struck me because my father was a college president, and so I saw a lot of similarities in somebody that I, greatly admire and love more than anything. He is like the cheerleader for our family.
My children, Alex and Addison, first they ground me completely. They give all of this work that I'm doing and everything meaning.
To be such a collaborator, communicator, and somebody that really deeply believes in justice, it seemed like those were the things that he just naturally is.
I have been extremely blessed to have different people in my life. People like Sister Frances, she was my 4th grade school teacher. I remember those little lessons that she taught us, and I bring that with me into the work that I do now.
Welcome to all of you.
My message to students would be that they're loved. We want to walk with them and accompany them as they go off and do amazing things in the world. And we're always going to be there. It's about community, and we're going to help them to get connected as we go forward in life. Welcome home, and go Pilots.
Dr. Kelly, on behalf of the entire Board of Regents, we are thrilled that you are finally here on the Bluff.
Dr. Kelly and his family, so grateful that you've become a part of the University of Portland. Can't wait to see all of the fantastic things that we can accomplish.
Welcome, Dr. Kelly, to Villa Maria Hall. Welcome, Dr. Kelly, to the University of Portland.
We're so proud of you and wish you the best of luck at University of Portland.
Congrats, Dad, on becoming president. I'm really proud of you.
Every day, remember where your strength lies. God and heaven are below our feet and above our heads, and so always look up and remember that you are loved and you can do this. Congratulations.
Congratulations, President Kelly. God bless you.
Boy, isn't that pretty? Sliver of a moon. Here in the Rose City, we're on the campus of the University of Portland, 9th-ranked Portland Pilots, unbeaten this year, leading St. Mary's 1-0 Second half just moments away. Very entertaining first half, Angela Harrison, and the lone goal has stood the test of this first half anyway.
Yeah, really interesting game, and to see how this has played out, you know, we're pretty even for the teams in possession right now, and it's been a decent back and forth game. You know, we watched Portland have kind of the better of the first 10-15 minutes. St. Mary's really settled into kind of their defensive rhythm, and then they started to go at the Pilots and really started to kind of push that Pilot team back. And then just right around the 30th minute, Portland hit the counter and was able to equalize on it, or capitalize on actually a St. Mary's shot. So you see here, George, safe hands coming out for that opportunity, and there he lays out. Right after this opportunity right here, St. Mary's on the attack. From this opportunity, the ball goes down the field. This sequence ends up happening where Fernandez tries to play it to Senga, can't quite connect it. Denley keeps it alive, and then Nick Fernandez, Team Chaos, ends up playing it right into Boblai. That is in the 31st minute. So again, that save from Tsuris results in the opportunity coming down here. Look at Denley just have that go there, and Fernandez reads that all the way, finds that opportunity with Boblai, and Boblai tucks it up into the upper roof of the net. And then again, coming back the other way, not many chances for St. Mary's, but this was a critical one. And you look at how Riley Lynch took that. He knows right there how close he was, and he's going to be looking for another opportunity like that in the second half.
Tsuris knew that was really close as well. George tested a few times, but it's Portland that leads St. Mary's 1-0. The Gales coming into this match having defeated Portland 5 straight times. So a lot at risk this evening. Unbeaten streak for the Pilots, that number 9 ranking, and trying to get off the schneid against the Gales. So an entertaining second half is waiting in the wings. We guarantee you it's going to be a good one. What a night. Friday Night Lights, baby. WCC opener, both clubs. Pilots leading St. Mary's 1-0. Second half just around the corner here at Merlot. I want that T-shirt. I want that T-shirt. Oh my
Over
goodness.
the boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Empty-handed though. Back you go, young man.
You're a college student. You don't want to do laundry. Give me the free T-shirt. That puts off laundry for at least another week.
I love it. I like the way you roll. Great representation, Clive's Army. Good crowd on hand. Perfect night for soccer. Temp 67 degrees. Angela, winds negligible. Couldn't be better for the lads down on the pitch.
It's going to be a good second half, and we're starting to hit that moment of fall. I love October soccer because the ground is going to get a little slippy.
Yeah.
Going to get a nice water sheen on the top of it, and it's going to be a very fast second half, I'm betting.
All right, well, I have a second. Congratulations to our friend Dan Seebeck, assistant AD at UP. Operations-wise, he makes this place go. Grandfather for the first time. Welcome Silas Ray. How great is that?
That's amazing. Dan is a great guy. You couldn't ask for a better ops guy. You are correct. He makes everything run around here. Game day does not happen without Dan Seebeck. So congrats to him and his family for the new addition.
Papa Dan.
Papa Dan.
Papa Dan, Grandpa for the first time. He's our Radar O'Reilly, and he's the
That's
grandpa.
him right there.
Yeah.
Coming around the boards.
Come on, baby. Well done, Dan. We love having you here. Thanks for making this place run like a dream clock, and congratulations, Papa Dan, and welcome to the world, little Silas Ray. All right, let's talk soccer. Critical first 5-10 minutes of the second half, Ange?
Absolutely. You know, St. Mary's had a pretty good run through the middle part of that first half, where they had some chances, had only one shot on goal that was counting. That was the Tasseri save. They'll want to get more. You know, obviously, if you're going to score goals, you have to create more opportunities for yourself. So you've got to get yourself into the attacking third and just start putting shots in and around the goal area and start testing this Portland defense.
Second half underway. Pilots in their home whites, leading 1-0. St. Mary's Road Reds. Blue numbers. And out of the chutes, here come the Gales. Clever. Shot blocked. Gales not finished yet. Here's Engman. You know, I was impressed when the Gales went down 1-0. Angela, no chin to chest, obviously a long way to go in this thing, and they're keeping the pressure on this Pilot defense.
Well, the important thing, I mean, even watching Portland in the early games of this season, you know, that's obviously both teams has developed a long way since then.
Ooh.
But you know, like Portland is ripe for a goal on the counterattack. They have been up at times and have given up a couple goals, where even when they're 2 goals up, have given up a couple goals and had teams get back in this. So they know it's critical not to get your heads down, because there is opportunities to score in this Pilot team and come back and hopefully maybe potentially pick up a win.
That was a lovely ball by Quintero to Cerise, reacting well off his line. Pilots now looking for more. Fernandez.
And again, I think that's better from George. I know that, you know, when you're in a crowd, it's easy to punch, but you give up so much in the attack. You create other opportunities when you're doing that punch. So if you can catch it, if you have the ability to catch it, catch it. Stop the attack on you and start the attack for your team.
Here comes St. Mary's on the counter. Well played by Fernandez. You'd expect nothing less. How solid is Nick Fernandez, the redshirt freshman?
Such a joy to watch, and he has come in and just from minute one not come out of this starting lineup, and he does so well. He complements Sebastian Navas so well as a side-by-side attacking midfield partner.
Coming off that leg injury last year, and boy, getting ready for this season, and he has been an absolute rock for the Pilots.
I don't know that, I mean, he's a redshirt freshman. You know, this is the first season that he's played. I don't know if he'll ever come off the field for Portland as a starter at this point. It's going to take a lot, I think, for somebody to come and displace him from this lineup.
He's been, to your point, Ange, just a joy to watch, and it's just been such a fun season. But it's conference time now. Both clubs saying it's a different beast when the WCC opens play. Look at that tackle by Tracy. We'll go the other way. Nava looking for help. Great opportunity for the Pilots here, stretching the defense. Unlucky there.
I think Fernandez probably looking for a foul.
Yes.
Thought he might get it, but St. Mary's cleans that up nicely. Probably wanted to do better from that off the counter. Instead, Portland in position to win it, and they'll just bring it right back down the field.
It was strange. Everybody just kind of stopped playing for a second, except for St. Mary's saying, let's go the other way. Let's get that counter going. Sanga so aggressive, running right at the St. Mary's defense, but the Gales are really staying home nicely. Second half underway. We're at Merlot Field on the campus of the University of Portland. The 9th-ranked Pilots, unbeaten, coming into tonight's match against St. Mary's, leading 1-0. Babalai's goal in the 31st minute, the difference maker, as we've got a long way to go. Second half just underway.
St. Mary's will be patient in looking for an equalizer, but in the back of their heads, knowing the longer this half goes on, the longer this game ticks to full time, the more they're going to have to chase it, and that means committing numbers forward. And when teams commit numbers forward against Portland, you've seen it already with Sanga and how fast he is. Cambridge, you can know what he can do. They're so good and quick on the counter. That's what they're going to be vulnerable to as this half goes on.
Fernandez. Babalai loses it. Kind of unlucky there. Touch got away from him. St. Mary's. Nice step by Cambridge. Wow. Artiega, yeah, laying out, huh?
Stuffs Muddit.
I guess. Again, good defense.
Cambridge does well, just does well to get his body in between Lawrence and the ball, and then just can't hang on to it. Ends up just sliding right between them, and Lawrence gets it back.
Quintero active to start this second half for St. Mary's, getting the starting nod. Again, the near sideline, far post, look out, header opportunity. The touch there, the scrum, and the equalizer for St. Mary's in the 51st minute.
And that's Omar Yaya winning it off that scrum, as you said. Portland not cleaning up and clearing the ball well enough in the penalty area. And you see Lawrence with that nice ball in, keys it back, kept alive there. Yaya gets the touchdown. And it's Tracy ends up kind of knocking it down, trying to clear it. Portland can't clear it. And it's Yaya scoring his 3rd goal of the season.
You know, Yaya basically was in the right place at the right time and did not quit on that play as it was kind of being knocked around. He just stayed home and waited for the perfect opportunity.
And that is a hallmark, really, of WCC play. It is, again, I said it in the first half after Portland's goal, they've scored a lot of really good-looking, nice, pretty goals this season. A lot of WCC men's soccer is just what we saw there. You're getting it in the mixer, so to speak, knocking it down and around, and whoever can just smash it home is going to do it.
And Yaya stays home, and you know he's been really. We mentioned he's the transfer is Yaya out of Fullerton, and he has found a home here with the Gales. He was so active in that first half, rewarded with the goal, the equalizer, and as Ange mentioned, his 3rd goal of the season. Brand new match, Ange.
And exactly what Adam Cooper wanted. Scores a goal in the first 10 minutes of this half. So now his team can, again, be patient. They don't have to be conservative, but they can make sure that they keep things right at the back. They're not going to have to chase this game. It's going to now, again, line up into a bit of a chess match for the next 40 minutes.
Cambridge has been very active, working really well with Tibbling in that first half, but hasn't really tested Oladapo at this point, and I would imagine that the Pilots would love to change that in the second half. Look out here. And the booking.
Yeah, that's Wade Muddett coming through. You saw him coming through so fast as that ball came over to Bonilla. Bonilla turned on it. Muddett closed so fast there, but then as he comes up, Bonilla turns to clear this ball. Watch him track Bonilla in here. He's going to clear it, and Muddett comes up. High boot, showing the bottom of his cleats, showing the studs, as they say, right through Bonilla's foot, and that's what he's going to get the yellow card for.
Do you like the call? Is it the right call?
I think it's the right call. It's high. It's high, and it's not. I mean, he's going to block the ball, sure, but it's high and it's going through Kevin Bonilla's foot. That's the yellow card. That's the rule. You have to award a yellow card for that.
So Muddett, the transfer out of Feather River Community College, picks up the yellow. And it would appear that the opening minutes of this second half, the momentum belongs to St. Mary's.
And it's just, again, what I talked about before going in. Adam Cooper's so good at the halftime talk. You know, it would be interesting what would happen when they go down 1-0 and what's into the halftime. And what they've done is again, fluid formation for them, pushed more players into the attack, putting more pressure on this Portland team and making it difficult for them to play through the middle to their playmakers and then find their channels out wide.
Handball is going to go against the Pilots.
Just wanted the foul there. Portland looking, Babalai trying to turn the corner there, looking to see if he got tripped up. And I think really what our center official, William Hoffman, is looking at there is the intentionality of Babalai to go to goal. Was he looking for a call or was he looking to score there?
You just see St. Mary's collapsing on anyone that gets near the 18 and further in terms of the attack of Portland. Really good tag team defense by the Gales at this point. Angela, after Yaya was able to score the equalizer, you saw Tesuri gather the troops, and it was literally a club meeting. As a goalkeeper, what do you suppose he was telling the guys?
I think it's really just to stay calm. I mean, Portland has had a really good run of games recently. They've been up and haven't conceded in a moment like this. What they've seen and again, I talked about their opening two games was, you know, being in a situation like this, conceding the lead. And I think it's just calming everybody down and letting everybody understand to be patient. There's so much time left in this game that you just have to make sure that we're keeping it right in the back. And when you're finding that opportunity to transition, make sure that you're not kicking the ball blindly out. Connect and find your opportunities going forward, mostly out wide through Cambridge and Sangha. I don't really said all that, but you know, that was the gist.
I like it. Well, he actually talked to him for a few minutes. It could have been exactly that. As here we go on the counter with Cambridge. From behind, Eggman gets him.
Eggman gets Cambridge, and St. Mary's coaching staff and the bench not happy about that call. As we see Cambridge double teams with Bonilla, steps around him, coming all the way up the field, and Eggman chasing him down, does a nice job, but it's right there. He pulls back Cambridge's shoulder, and that's likely what Cooper and his coaching staff didn't see, was the hand coming up in front of him, pulling back Cambridge on the shoulder. That's the foul. That's going to be the call all day.
There's been some jersey tugging, that's for sure. Quick turn. Here's Fernandez. Will he crack it from distance? Cambridge instead inside the 18. Beautiful pass, but what a great step by St. Mary's. Love the idea by Cambridge. The run was perfect, the defense super perfect. Here we go, Cambridge, quick start. Cambridge with a great pass. Fernandez. Oh, what a flurry that was, Ange.
And keyed again, Portland keeping it alive, takes a quick free kick, and Oladapo trying to wrap Fernandez around the head and kind of give him a little attaboy pat on the head, and Fernandez does not like that, but Cambridge gets that ball across. Thought he had Sangha. Sangha gets stuffed there. Fernandez comes around the corner. Nice footwork, but that's a dual block there. That was That was Engman, and can't see who the other one there was, but yeah, right there, Fernandez did not appreciate that from Oladapo.
All right, I was wondering if maybe Senga was going to not take that second touch and maybe crack it.
You know, it's hard to say seeing from our view up here, but from what I saw from where we were sitting, I think it would have been hard for him to take that first time given the number of players between him and the goal. So I think he was probably trying to lift that ball up far post and maybe get a deflection, maybe get a handball, maybe get a goal.
So here's Tracy. Far sideline, Denley. Lofted, nobody there. Cowan back on to the pitch. Muddett, who had a good shift, will have a seat. Cambridge getting more and more involved in the offense, Ange.
And right now what we're seeing is St. Mary's is a little, we've seen this from Portland early in the season, is St. Mary's is getting a little intense about the referee and the calls going against them, and this is a good time for Portland to strike when St. Mary's is a little mentally unfocused on the game and a little bit more focused on the refereeing. This is where Portland has been able to find some opportunity, is just St. Mary's dealing with that.
Non-stop whistles in this second half.
That was Denley, gets a yellow card.
Did he get booked?
Yeah,
I missed it. Okay.
Hoffman blew the whistle,
okay.
and you know, the ball rolls to Denley after he blows the whistle, and Denley, you know, clears it up the field. He's trying to give his team time, but that's a bookable offense.
Bookable, I like it. 58th minute, okay.
Oh, look at him. Referee's writing him in the book right now. He's got him in his book.
There it is. Make a note of that. You feel the tension building, Ange. There's so much at stake. You could just feel how badly both of these clubs want this conference opener.
Well, and St. Mary's absolutely wants to be the ones that knock down Portland and knock them off their unbeaten season so far and have a crack at the number 9 team in the country right now. And Portland knows exactly where they stand and what they've done over the last 9 games in the opening part of non-conference play, heading into conference play, and they want to keep it going in the WCC and don't want to give anything up.
Brutal non-conference schedule for the Portland Pilots, and it has really been a healthy dose of terrific competition that has made this club that much better going into conference play. Sanga carrying. Up next for the Pilots will be University of San Francisco. The Dons sitting in second place right now in the WCC, behind the Pilots in overall scheduling. And St. Mary's will take on San Diego. Bonilla wanted it, he's got it. And he's gonna make a run, get it right back. Like the switch. Denley. Remember, he hit the crossbar in that first half. Ooh. Well, now the Pilots have action as Fernandez carries, gets undercut, and a PK attempt coming for the Pilots.
I mean, I know I can say this now, but as soon as Fernandez picked up the ball right here, I was like, he's either going to score or he's going to get a penalty. I mean, that was the only 2 outcomes that could happen right there, with the look of determination and how quickly he went in at that ball. Cade Cowan comes in next to him. You can see Cowan is so upset by that, but Fernandez does such a nice job of cutting the corner, getting in, and Cowan can't keep up with him. Didn't get the ball, gets right at Fernandez's knees and trips him up and earns the penalty.
All right, so Cambridge with the honors. Oladapo taking his time getting between the pipes. Is he trying to psych out Cambridge,
Yes,
Ange?
absolutely.
Okay.
He's actually just waiting, making Cambridge wait. And anytime you do that, you're just making the shooter think about the correct corner, what corner they want to go to, what side they want to go to. So just trying to make them sit and think. It's the goalkeeper form of icing the kicker.
Cambridge buries it.
But it will take a lot to rattle a player like Brandon Cambridge. That's his 6th goal of the season, and Brandon Cambridge doesn't miss penalties often, and when you give him that opportunity, doesn't need to hit it hard. He gets Oladapo going the other way and just tucks it right in to Oladapo's right, Cambridge's left. No problems there, puts the Pilots up 2-1.
6th goal of the season, as Ange mentions. That's tops in the WCC. Clive's Army going bonkers. Smoke bombs, flags. People still looking for t-shirts. Love it. What a season Brandon Cambridge is having, the Canadian. The sophomore. You know, Ange, he plays like a grad student or a senior, doesn't he?
I mean, I feel like I've been watching Brandon Cambridge play here for 5 years.
Yep.
He's so good, and he's so confident on the ball. And, you know, you watch him play, and he just gets, I mean, as you should, but just gets better and better, not just every year, but every game.
There it is. There it is, Angela Harrison, every game. You know, he was good last year. You know, he started some 9 games. He had 4 assists to go along with the 1 goal. Well, now he's still racking up the helpers, but all the goals to complement the helpers. Complete season.
And, you know, last year there was such a diverse attacking group that, you know, you have a hard time coming in and out with the number of phenomenal attacking players that Portland had last season. And Cambridge stepped onto the field this year and wasn't ever similar to Sanga, similar to Fernandez, wasn't ever going to leave that starting spot.
And let's tip our cap to Fernandez. He made that PK happen. He didn't wait for a second to get into that 18 and created the contact.
And again, that's what I said. When he got that ball, I thought to myself, it's going to be a goal or it's going to be a penalty. That was the only 2 possible outcomes at that point. Looking at how he went, the head of steam that he went at that opportunity. And again, that was keyed by Kevin Bonilla making a good run up. He cuts across the field and hits a great cross-field ball, and Portland is able to keep the attack alive long enough for Nick Fernandez to make that happen.
Deep ball. Bonilla retreats. And here's Cambridge. All right, for St. Mary's, how critical are the next 5-10 minutes, Ange?
Huge. And again, I said it, when things started to go sideways, they're more concerned with the refereeing than the game. And that's kind of where things went sideways. So now they have to rebound from that. Are they still going to be more concerned with the refereeing, or are they going to focus on the game at this point and go get a goal back?
And a ton of time left, obviously. We're in the 61st minute. Cambridge's PK moments ago, his 6th goal of the season, giving Portland the 2-1 lead in this back and forth affair. Conference opener for both clubs. Portland ranked number 9 in the country. Their best regular season ranking in a few years, and unbeaten, so much at stake. And we'll remind you, St. Mary's has defeated Portland 5 straight times.
And what you're seeing here, you got a foul called on Delence Pierre. It comes across the field. Kevin Bonilla has it. Another foul. William Hoffman trying to get the game back. We've seen it all of the first half. Some of the challenges that have come up have been high shoulder grabs, little nudges around the waist, little things in there. And he's trying to get the game back under control and not allow the St. Mary's team to do that, as we see Cowan earn a yellow card for everything that is going on this near side of the field. We haven't been able to see it all, or you haven't been able to see it on the screen, but Cowan gets in too close to the kicker and earns that yellow card.
All right, Cowan couldn't believe it, but got booked all the same. And Ange, if you're the Pilots, you know you need another 1 or 2, correct?
You have to put this game away, and you know, right now St. Mary's knows that they're still in this game. They don't just think it, they know they're still in this game. And you know, if Portland can go get another goal or 2, it's going, I mean, you look at the game and the state of the game right now, it's going to demoralize the St. Mary's team. It's going to devolve into a physical.
Oh, whoa.
Denley gets a second booking.
Yep, he's gone.
And an automatic yellow card.
Yep.
Or it's an automatic red card on the second booking. And this is, again, Portland players in the gamesmanship. When you get lost in what we just saw Cowan do to Bonilla, and you try to do it again, and we saw Denley get a yellow card for clearing a ball well after a whistle. Shouldn't do it. Even though you're trying to give your team more time, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And he does a similar thing there. you have to be smarter than that. You can't give up. And now Portland playing the next half hour, a man down. And now Carlin Voigt's going to get a yellow card. We see Hoffman coming over, and he's getting a yellow card for protesting that call.
Papa Dan is going to escort Denley off the field. Carlin Voigt needs to be careful. The Pilots will play at a man disadvantage for what's going to seem like an eternity as Denley's gone for the night and the next game.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big loss for Portland going into their next game against San Francisco. San Francisco doing so well this season, has had a really good run of games and will be critical for Portland. That's going to be a critical miss for the Pilots.
That's a huge loss, as Denley is one of the anchors of that back line. So gone for tonight, gone for the next match. But let's talk about what is at hand. Now what's critical for the Pilots, playing with a man disadvantage, leading 2-1. I mean, the drama's crazy.
Well, Carlin Voigt's going to have to make a sub here. I think you're going to see him bring on probably Hernandez. I think that's Hernandez down there. But he's going to bring on Hernandez to shore up the back line. He's probably going to pull one of the forwards off. He's going to pull somebody out. And Portland now has to take advantage of their counterattacks. They're going to stay right in the back with 4 backs. They're going to keep Greg Tracy. They're probably going to drop Nick Fernandez in to shore that up. And they're going to move to 3 in the middle. No, they've had 3 in the middle, but 2 holding, 1 attacking. Normally they've been 2 attacking, 1 holding, and they're going to pull one of their forwards off. Cambridge goes to the bench, and Portland's just going to play with 2 forwards now and have Sebastian Nava do double duty as a wide midfielder / forward.
That's a great call as Hernandez, the redshirt freshman, checks in for this Pilot bunch. So let's see if St. Mary's, playing with a man advantage, can really put the heat on this Pilot defense, as Denley has to leave the game, the park. And again, the whistles have been nonstop in this match.
Yeah, when you get a red card, it doesn't matter even if it's a second yellow for anytime you're ejected. You can't just go sit on the bench. You have to leave the pitch. You have to leave the field. And so that's why Denley heads to the locker room to maybe have to listen to us for the rest of the game. Maybe not. Who knows?
Heck yeah, he's going to. You bet.
So we see the player down on the field is Timothy Stevens. Looks like he may have gotten just a knock to the face. Not sure if he has a bloody nose. But athletic trainer Rhiannon Geving is out there. Yeah, looks like a bloody nose.
Yeah, it does. I think he got popped in the snoot. There's Stevens. A chance for a lot of the St. Mary's guys to get a quick drink, as Kurz is close to coming in as well for St. Mary's. The Gales trailing 2-1. Cambridge's PK in the 59th minute, the difference here. But then, in another twist to this crazy and fun match, Denley gets booked for the second time. That's an automatic red. Ejection, leave the park, leave the pitch. And you can feel St. Mary's believes, you said it, they don't think they know they're still in this thing. And now playing at a man advantage, they're really feeling good about things.
And you know, they have a good opportunity right here. I mean, we've talked about it at halftime, and at the time they took it, a really good set piece opportunity. They've been so good from set pieces. That's where they, you know, score a lot of goals, and Portland's given them a good set piece opportunity right here.
Carlin Voigt talked about St. Mary's, and you check off the boxes. A strong physical club. They'll run at you, set piece damage, long throws. You know, and he thought this would be a match that would be similar to Central Arkansas, West Virginia in terms of physical play. He was exactly right.
And it's what they know from St. Mary's. I mean, as I said, I've been watching these two teams play for a really long time, and it's just the hallmark of the programs is just that physical play. And we saw it in the opening minutes when they came in with the first couple hard fouls. They were just letting Portland know that they're not going to be intimidated by this environment, by Portland's record, by Portland's ranking. They're not going to get pushed around.
So I would imagine, Ange, as we are underway in WCC play, that every one of Portland's opponents, while this unbeaten streak stays alive and the rankings stay so high, they want to beat Portland like never before. They want to, you know, ruin the party, if you will.
It's a huge target on the back, and when I played on some of the Portland teams in the 90s that we were annually ranked and we were ranked weekly in the top 10, anybody you played, you were the target. They knew that if there was anybody that they wanted to beat that season, it was you.
You bet.
And especially when you get into the top 10, because when you're in the top 10, you tend to stay in the top 10. And when you can stay and maintain that, then yeah, every week there's that pressure that everybody wants to have their best game against you. So you have to have your best game every week.
So the stakes high, as we mentioned. Pilots playing a man down on the heels of Denley's second yellow booking. What offensive-minded philosophy do you have when you're a man down, Ange?
Well, take care of the ball. When you win it, you have to take care of it, and you can't give up anything silly in transition. And you have to make sure that you're extra careful in, your hold in your defensive and your midfield areas of the field.
Dangerous here. Yeah, making things happen. Engman. Ooh. Oh, and then he bends over. Wow, crowd letting him have it. Engman really went hard at Babalai, and Babalai's still down. Engman leans over and says something to Babalai, and the crowd goes bonkers. This is getting out of control a little bit, Ange.
It is. And we're going to get another look at what happened here with Babalai, but you see him go up. As this ball goes up, Babalai does a nice job. He gets up there, he's going for it. Engman puts his knee in his back as he's going up for it. He goes straight up instead of going straight up. And then Engman comes straight up over the top of him, gives him a shout down.
Man.
And you see William Hoffman looking straight at that. And I think they actually did just go give a caution to Engman finally for that play.
And Yaya was just given a yellow. This is...
It's amazing how quickly these games can devolve.
Yeah, so Engman gets a yellow, and him leaning down and saying something to the, I'm sure it wasn't the pleasantries that we'd like to talk about to Babalai on the turf, had this crowd going. Counter.
Sang almost had a really nice little bit of fancy footwork back heel to Babalai.
Like the idea. Instead, St. Mary's on the counter looking to push. Remember, man advantage for the Gales. They're looking for the equalizer. We're in the 67th minute here at Merlot. Great soccer atmosphere here in Portland. And the whistles just keep on a-coming. Ange, one of the things that Adam Cooper said, head coach of the Gales, that I thought was really cool is, he really had to ready his guys for an electric atmosphere here. And none of the current players have played in front of this kind of crowd. They did come to Merlot in the spring of 2021. It was a COVID season. There were only about 100 people here. So he said his guys have got to get ready for a soccer crowd.
Yeah, and it's a crowd that's knowledgeable. It's a crowd that knows what's going on. When they're looking at things happening out on the field, they're seeing things. They're letting the ref know. They're letting the other team know. And, you're not going to get any kind of mercy from Clive's Army over there in anything that you do.
And, it's interesting because as Fernandez goes down, foul on St. Mary's, is Cooper was talking about when Grand Canyon had their home opener when they started their first ever soccer season. There was like 6,000 people there, which he said it was great. But he said this is a soccer crowd, to your point. This is a knowledgeable crowd. It's kind of a different beast.
It's not a novelty. It's not a thing that people go out and do casually. People come out to these games because it's good. It's a good environment. It's a lot of fun to watch, and it's a great high level match that you can bring kids to, high school kids to, and even if you don't have kids, I know a ton of people that come to these games because they're just hugely interested in this program and watching good soccer.
Oladapo punches it away. Bonilla chucks it. And it is such great soccer, both the men's and women's. The University of Portland, the one and only program in the country where the men's and women's soccer clubs are undefeated. How about that?
It's remarkable. I mean, I know that there's still a few unbeaten men's team. Number 1, Wake Forest, and number 2, UW come to mind. I know there's still a few unbeaten women's team, but to have both your men's and women's team unbeaten, ranked in the top 20, that's just phenomenal work from the entire athletic department and staff here in support of these soccer programs. So you see Portland go, they pull off Sanga. They're going to go away from having two, kind of their three front setup, obviously without another player. So you see Umar is going to come in and really run that flank over there for the Pilots and do double duty, be the one pulling double duty up there between the wing and the forward position.
With this scenario, Angela Harrison, 70th minute, Portland leading 2-1 and yet playing at a man disadvantage. When do you start nervously clock watching?
I think Nick Carlin-Voigt started doing it about 10 minutes ago when Denley got set off.
Okay, because I got to admit, I'm looking at the clock a lot, and there's still a ton of time left in this one. What a match this has been.
And with how chippy it's been, too, this is where Portland already, again, don't think we need to belabor the point, already playing with 10 players, but in their defensive third especially, be safe with how you defend. Do not give up silly fouls. Do not give up opportunities for the St. Mary's team to find an equalizer.
Can you ever over-communicate defensively, or are you talking the entire time? I know you realize what your assignments are as Yepa checks in, but can you over-talk?
No, I don't think you can. I mean, you can certainly give too much information, but the kind of communication in there is also going to be encouragement. Yeah, nice job, good step, great win. Great header, good out. Find somebody. It's going to be simple, easy communication, and it's just, especially when you're playing a player down, it's just that encouragement. It's that, hey, good job, get it out here. You know exactly what's going on.
Pilots giving the ball away. Yepa coming on for Fernandez. Do you like that substitution, Ange?
I mean, I think it gives them some size in there. I think Fernandez is probably going to come back on at some point,
okay.
But Yepa is so good in the air. He does well. He's going to be that shield right in front of Arteaga and Pierre, give Tracy a little bit more room to roam as a man marker, but really give them some additional size to deal with crosses into the penalty area.
Umar gives it away. Gale still in their attacking third. Quick throw. Portland playing a man down. And they have been since the 62nd minute. The Pilots are going to have to play defense like never before. Bonilla.
So well read, and as soon as I looked up and I saw, I'm trying to see who that is. I cannot honestly see the number because of it, but I think as I'm looking up the field, it was potentially Beverly, but as soon as he put his hands up, Bonilla communicates with Arteaga, makes sure he has that man, and then drops off because he knows that cross is coming and is able to disrupt the flow for St. Mary's.
And he read it so beautifully, and he gets it out of harm's way, gets the defense organized. Just a veteran play. Nicely played by Yepa. Again, the clock just keeps on ticking in Portland's favor.
18, it was Lawrence, excuse me.
You're good. It's tough.
The blue numbers on the red shirt.
And the red and gray, yeah. Oh, baby. You can see the Gales content to take their time to see if they can find that lane, that opening, that runner.
And they can afford to be patient right now. They have the advantage. They are holding all the cards, so to speak.
Yep.
They have the opportunities to really just start to dig into this Portland team and start to poke different areas to find their opportunities. And here's where you're going to see Yepa's contributions.
Corner, Gales. Far post to Cerise, reads it nicely. Finds Umar. Umar on the run. Nava wants to be a release valve, and Umar gives it away.
Yeah, he wanted to give it to him too, but just too many players in the way, and that's where, if you're looking up, that's Hernandez that was trailing him on the outside left back position. It's hard when you're in front of that crowd, but you gotta shout, you gotta make yourself known so that Umar can find you and play it to you.
Lawrence into space, nobody there. Got to take care of that ball, Ange. Clever, Babalai.
Babalai's so good at that
Yes.
too, just taking care of the ball in tight areas like this, just
Nava.
keeping steady possession.
You know, it was a great run by Nava too, and you know, Babalai sees him, and here's Portland possessing, taking its time, stretching the field, Ange.
And you ask about clock management. This is clock management right here. They don't need to do anything. They just need to keep the ball and just keep going side to side. Look for those opportunities where they can pull St. Mary's out. And if they can create a gap, then exploit it and go get your shot. Great. And if you can't, just keep it. Manage the clock, and you time waste through possession, essentially.
There it is, as Muddit checks back in. He set some really good shifts for St. Mary's, and Sanga will come in soon for the Pilots. And there's your operative phrase, is clock management. That's going to be absolutely pivotal these last chunks of minutes of this match.
I think Umar's going to come right back out. Sanga's going to come in, and
Yep.
we're going to start to see Portland. What Portland does is that they'll put Umar close by on the bench, and then maybe Tibbling will get up, or Cambridge will get up, and they'll just kind of start to sub him in and wait as long as the referee will allow them to, so they don't get a yellow card before he stops the clock.
There you go.
For the substitutions.
So Sanga back in for the Pilots. Portland leading St. Mary's on Cambridge's PK here in the second half. But then Denley picks up his second yellow. He's sent off. Pilots with the lead, but with only 10 field players. Gibbs on the pitch for St. Mary's. And Calero will check in as well for the Gales. You can tell Adam Cooper wants some fresh legs out there and looking for that energy boost from the bench.
And he's got such a good amount of depth to do it. And the players that are coming in, you know, he's played so many players this season that everybody that's coming in knows that they'll have an opportunity. Very similar to, you know, what we see with Babalai and Tibbling. Everybody that's coming in knows they have an opportunity to contribute and do something special for this team.
Tracy tries to clear it. St. Mary's still in their attacking third. Dangerous here. Another corner for the Gales. 76th minute.
Greg Tracy tracks that ball well. We see him there. He tracks that ball well, does whatever he needs to just to get in front, and goes out for a corner that gives his teammates another chance to defend, but at least the cross didn't get off where to somebody that was in a dangerous spot behind him.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Delence Pierre so good at getting up. That was such a great ball from Riley Lynch. He puts it straight up, but it's right into the middle of a pack, and Tassaris cannot get to it. Delence Pierre uses every ounce of his legs to get up and get over the crowd and head it clear.
Unlucky there for Sanga. He was really doing some magic with the ball at his feet and then lost it. And I'm glad you mentioned the play of Pierre. You know, sometimes those plays get lost in the shuffle, and yet folks like you or the coaching staff for the Pilots will draw that play and say, that's what I'm talking about in terms of anchoring defense.
You have to get up and manage it, and this is what we'll see right here. Delence Pierre is the one down on the field right now, and he'll get attended to. I think he's probably just cramping up, or potentially just had somebody land on him in that scrum. There were, I'm going to say conservatively, about 25 bodies in the area. Now, I know that there are only 21 players on the field, but that's probably what it was like for Delence Pierre, trying to get up and win that opportunity and get it out of harm's way for Portland.
Pierre still on the pitch. We showed you a few seconds ago, Clive's Army. Student section out in force. It's Friday night, why not? There, love it when you guys show up. It's the greatest. And hopefully they'll be here back tomorrow as the Portland Pilots will take on LMU, putting their unbeaten streak on the line. And the Pilots, yeah, top 25, baby.
Yeah, the women's team coming in strong. It's been so great to watch them again just come build confidence every game, get better every game. Every player is getting better every game. So it's just been so fun to watch the progress of the team this season, but also the program over the last 4 or 5 years from when Michelle French took over, just to see, her put her stamp and her spin on everything that's going on for the Pilot soccer team.
Boy, her stamp, her spin, amen. One of the all-time greats to wear the Portland Pilot gear, coming home, if you will, as the head coach of the Pilots on the women's side. All right, that's tomorrow. We've got stuff to take care of tonight. So Starobo says, what, me?
Just comes up, and as you see him comes in, he turns his shoulder right into Boblai. Boblai
getting up gingerly.
Yeah. He landed a bit hard on his arm as he did that, but Starobo coming right through him.
Junior defender, Starobo, you'll see it here.
Just turns up. You just see him go in there and just put his elbow, kind of his side of his arm, right into Boblai.
Counter, Gales. Again, playing with a man advantage. St. Mary's. Calero will look up. Nicely played. Just kind of coming out of nowhere is Sanga. Boy, and that's a foul that Gales don't have to commit.
Yeah, I think that was Curry who came through there and just stuck Sanga as he was trying to cut it back and planted his foot. Nowhere really for Sanga. Sanga couldn't really evade it. He tried to, but just stuck his shin right in there.
And I think Sanga was kind of on the cusp of losing the ball anyway.
Yeah.
And, it's a foul another foul, and there's been a ton of them. And the Pilots with the ball, maybe able to burn a little more off the clock.
And that's exactly what Portland wants, is just those opportunities to take their time on the free kick, and again, kind of make the referee more or less stop the clock for them to take the free kick.
Here's the push by the Gales. A little bit of a knuckleball for Engman. He collects. Babalai just making life miserable for the Gales. 80th minute. Nicely played. Nava winning that ball from Engman, and here's the foot race. Smartly redirecting, using time.
And again, making St. Mary's chase. He had the ball come around to him. He's a little frustrated with that ball out, but you see him just start to make the St. Mary's players collapse on him. He releases the ball deeper. They have to go chase it. So, Portland, if they're going to be doing a bit of extra running to make up for not having an 11th player out there, he's going to try to make St. Mary's do a little bit of extra running also.
You bet. The Gales looking for the equalizer, playing with the man advantage. Cambridge's PK has been the difference. Dangerous here. Nava in the right place at the right time. He'll turn, he'll look, and into space. Great tackle, Engman. Here come the Gales. Lynch. He's gonna get it right back. Oh no, he's not, says Bonilla. Nava trying to draw the foul. Will play on.
Claire did a nice job there of winning that ball. Even though Nava, he was a barrier to Nava to get the ball, but that was the point. There wasn't any kind of foul in it.
Another yellow.
And that yellow going for Boyd Curry.
Is that who got it?
Looks like it was Curry.
He's kind of walking away slowly. It looks like,
Looks like he kind of caught Tracy on the foot, came down pretty hard on his foot.
I'm losing track of how many yellows. I just know there's been a ton of fouls and a bunch of bookings.
I think we're up to at least 6 total between the two teams.
Oh heck, I was making a note early on, and then I thought, oh heck with that. There's too many of them.
I think we maybe jinxed it when we were talking off air at halftime, talking about how it's 2-1 in fouls at halftime, no yellow cards.
There we go.
Yeah,
Our staff.
that was close.
Our crew is so great. Look at Ange, you're right there. And you're right about Curry too. All right, Ange, 81st minute. Gales chasing that equalizer.
And this is, again, where now St. Mary's, even though they have a man advantage, are going to start to have to commit some numbers forward, look to chase that equalizer, and when they do, there's going to be opportunities for Portland to counter and get up and try to get another opportunity of their own to ice this game.
Calero wants just a smidge of room. Look out! Oh, at the last second, it looked like the equalizer was home. Tesuri saves the day.
And it looked like that ball might be going to Tesuri's left, but it cuts it back to the right. He's got to do everything he can to redirect his energy and get on it.
George standing at 6'3", and he had to use every bit of his length to get that right mid on the shot that looked like as he is down. And you look at Arteaga saying, hey, stop the clock, and George needs a little help.
Arteaga came down pretty hard on his shoulder there. He's looking to try to get it a little bit stretched out. Referee has stopped the clock here. Are holding the athletic trainer right now.
So Tesuri's
doesn't look like it came out or anything. It just came down pretty hard.
You know, Ange, when your body says go one way and the ball is going the other, and how he was able to respond and react and make right now, as of this moment, the save of the night, pretty impressive.
Yeah, it goes along with his first half save where he laid out going the other way.
But man, here in the 82nd minute with just the 1-goal lead, seems even bigger.
And Portland right now is kind of showing the wear of playing a player down.
Yeah.
Babalai now on the turf, he's been taking a beating as kind of being the lone striker for the most part. Sanga running up and down the wing, Nava running up and down the wing, and Babalai really taking a beating at this point. For the Pilots. So I see Nick Fernandez ready to come in for Portland, and I'm curious if he might be coming in for Babalai. Move Sanga to a central striker role.
Jacob slow to get up. Had the game's first goal, did Babalai. You see him, there he is, and there's Fernandez. And when he comes off the pitch, Fernandez, you make a note of it. And he wants to go back in, and he's gonna go back in.
Yeah, he's going on for Babalai. He'll drop in, Sangha will play high, and now Fernandez will drop into a defensive role, so it'll be Gurman Sangha really running himself between the 3 center backs for St. Mary's.
So we're getting deep into this match. It's been a back and forth affair. It's been extremely physical, especially in this second half. Yaya back onto the pitch for St. Mary's. He has been a difference maker for this club.
He's been so good at breaking through Arteaga and Pierre and just kind of creating havoc by running off their shoulders, running towards their outside backs, and really creating some bits of discord in who actually is having to pick him up when he's making those runs.
Fernandez a little heavy on that touch. Jude Zamora checking in for the first time tonight. Sophomore forward. And again, Cooper going deep into his bench. The Gales at a man advantage. 83rd minute, Denley sent off. in the 62nd minute. Ball pinged about.
I think that's Hernandez. No, Fernandez.
Yep.
That was chopped down.
Yep, sure was. Clock
Reese is
ticking.
going to come out and take this
Yeah.
from that wide position, and
And he's going to take his time.
he knows how to do that very well.
Lynch gives it away. Nava is going to turn. He just wants to control, but gives it up.
He gives it
Gosh,
right back.
Gets it right back.
Tenacity.
Yep. So clever. Look at how clever Nava is with that ball. Now it's Sanga's turn.
And they'll look to do a bit of time wasting here. Sanga went to go play that ball into the box, and it was just Fernandez standing there with four defenders in the penalty area. So no options on to get that ball across, and they'll go to the corner as early as they can.
Arteaga makes the smart play there.
And Portland's going to get a yellow card here to the bench for holding that ball.
85th minute, 2-1. Pilots, number 9 in the country, with their unbeaten streak on the line, looking for their first win over St. Mary's in 5 tries. In 6 tries, actually. The last UP win, straight up win over the Gales, 2016. That could change, but we're not through yet. Look out. Love the tackle by Bonilla.
And he's up right away, coming right back in, making sure, he's in there with Arteaga, marking tight in there. He's got Wade Muddick coming in that he's got to also be responsible for.
Oh boy, an opportunity right there. And you love Calero with the flick header in mind, just misses.
Terrific ball in, and just cannot get it right there on frame. And look at him, he's just right there in the corner and outside the frame of your screen. He just knows what a good opportunity that was for him.
Perfect ball. Just missing is Calero. More whistles.
And George Tassaris will get a yellow card here for time wasting. He'd set the ball down, backed up, and at that point, you got to take the kick. You can't come back up and pick it up. And you know, it's an interesting tactic, but all you're doing is adding more yellow cards. You're stopping the clock at this point. Every time you do something like that, you're not wasting time because the referee stops the clock.
That's right. Crowd chanting, atmosphere electric here. 87th minute. Pilots looking to hang on, literally hang on, Ange.
And Fernandez upended again. We've seen that a few times.
Boy, has he been counting blades of grass tonight, huh? He has just been knocked to and fro, bounces back. What a gamer. Even when the whistles are blowing, Ange, they don't want to stop playing.
Yeah, they just want to keep the ball going down the field.
You bet. Smart. Just knock it out. Let that clock keep ticking. Here's Engman, 88th minute. And Lynch, who's been close a couple of times with a little cue ball shot there in terms of a service. Engman looking for some help. Ricochets off a Gale. Ball blocked. Portland's defense has been stout tonight, Ange.
Got to get those balls out into a safe area, kind of high and wide, out towards the halfway line. Make sure that it's not an easy one to pick up.
Tesouris, no problem there.
And Tesouris has to be careful here because
Yes.
he is a very good time waster. But as we saw with Denley clears the ball away, happens again, and he's going to get a caution. So George has to be careful because he is already sitting on the yellow.
89th minute. You're reading my mind, Ange. He's a veteran. He's got to know those types of situations as Yepa looks to get it back. Instead, it'll be Lynch carrying. Final moments of this match. Does St. Mary's have the equalizer in him? Tracy and Yepa. Now you just play the width of the field, Ange. You play catch with one of your players. You just control or knock it out.
Just knock it deep into the corner.
Yeah. There you go.
Fernandez gets out of that remarkably.
How about that? He just wasted a good 15 seconds to the Pilots' favor. And we are down to crunch time. 1 minute left in regulation. Remember, no overtime. So full time is fast approaching. The crowd is on its feet. Clive's Army going nuts.
And Fernandez learned a foul right here. You see this throw in here, and Fernandez just tries to come around his marker right there and gets tugged down to the ground himself.
And if the Pilots can avoid a miracle finish by St. Mary's, this is going to be a very rewarding victory. The Pilots have done it again. And there is your final. The Pilots outlasting a gritty St. Mary's club 2-1.
What a match here for Portland to be able to see this out for the last 30 minutes, playing a man down. They get the go-ahead goal, they go a man down, play a half an hour, and manage to see this thing out. A very, very good St. Mary's team says it has to go back to Moraga with a loss. That is a great, great finish from Portland.
43 fouls called in this game, all kinds of yellows. Denley sent off with a double yellow booking. And Clive's Army wills this club to the victory, 2-1. The win streak, the unbeaten streak, I should say, alive and well.
Unbeaten streak alive and well, and number 9 ranking intact. You know, and you're going to see some good. You see Yepa, and it looks like Troll over there. You know, a lot of good handshakes between the clubs. And this was a very tough WCC matchup. What a great opener for the Pilots.
All right, put it in the books. Number 9 Portland outlasting St. Mary's 2-1. Another high wire win for the sizzling Pilots. They stay unbeaten, win their conference opener, and break that 5-match skid against the Gales. Bring on the Dons. For Angela Harrison, our entire broadcast crew, I'm Ed Schott saying so long from Merlot Field, and thank you, as always, for watching Portland Pilot Soccer with us. There was your game winner, the PK from Cambridge. All right, stay safe, stay healthy, have a great weekend. Pilots win it 2-1. They're number 9 and moving up. Best post-game scene you could ever want. There's Nick Carlin-Boyd, a happy fellow with his kids walking off the pitch. Number 9, Portland outlasting St. Mary's 2-1 conference opener for both clubs. The Pilots remain undefeated. And man, Angela Harrison, this was a hard-fought victory.
Hard-fought indeed. I just started looking over my notes to see what we wanted to talk about, and it's all chicken scratch at this point. It's just, this game really went in a different direction in the second half, and boy, Portland really was capable in how they were able to see this game out over the last half hour after going up 2-1 and then having to deal with going down a player.
Well, it was the Portland Pilots leading at 1-0 at the half. Jacob Babalai's goal giving Portland the lead at the break.
Yeah, you look at this, Denley, we've talked about it a lot, his ability to keep it alive. Fernandez right there just slots it into Babalai. Babalai gets that early 1-0 lead for Portland, sends him into the locker room with a ton of confidence, up 1-0.
Another look at it. Babalai, right place, right time. Denley cracks that thing. And Fernandez knows what to do.
just a great finish for Babalai. Right past a diving Oladapo, nothing he could do about that. And then you look at Riley Lynch, our player to watch for St. Mary's, just whistles it off the top of the crossbar. And just, that was such a great moment for St. Mary's, and really unlucky for them not to have tied it before halftime. But they got their goal about 6 minutes into the second half on this scrum. It's like I said, it's a typical WCC goal. A lot of things happening at once, and somebody's there to finish it, and it was Yaya. And then we see Fernandez here, the big moment. He got the ball, comes into the penalty area, goes up, and it's Cambridge that's going to take it.
And finish it. Yes. All right, that's the 59th minute, 2-1. A couple of minutes later, Denley gets booked again with his second yellow and has to leave the pitch. So man advantage for this St. Mary's club, but they couldn't find that equalizer.
Portland did so well to just regroup after that and make sure that they didn't switch formation. They just made sure that they subbed Hernandez on. He came in at left back for Denley. They pulled a forward back in, so they made sure that they still kept everything matched up from the defensive perspective. And then when they had their opportunities to go forward, they did, and they wasted time beautifully and got out of this with a great 1-0 start to their WC season.
Up next for the Portland Pilots, a very tough USF club, and then at Oregon State after that.
Yeah, don't have a time at Oregon State yet, but USF, as we mentioned, a really, really good matchup for Portland. That'll be next week. Then they'll play Oregon State the week after. LMU, they'll be back here October 22nd, and then they're back on the road for the rest of October, Gonzaga and San Diego.
So number 9, Portland, goes 1-0 in conference play, stays unbeaten on the season, and it was a great atmosphere here at Merlo Field and a great result for the Portland Pilots. They continue to fly high. Still unbeaten, ranked number 9. Pilots win it 2-1.